Hi, it's Geraldine here to do the tea leaf reading for the new moon in Sagittarius with solar eclipse, December the 4th and beyond. So how's everyone doing? Are you feeling that this heavy, dense energy maybe has come to a head? Maybe feeling now that there's some light at the end of the tunnel? Maybe others are sort of feeling like, yeah, that's too good to be true. But you know what? It's definitely not. So everything that we experience is connected to and resulting from energy. So sometimes it's our own actions or thoughts. Often it's collective. It's definitely always impacted by the influence, of the planets and universal God energy. So there's a lot that's going on at any given time. There's a force right now that's sort of promoting fear again, but there's a sense of having nothing to worry about. Okay, so all morning I've been feeling like a shift to the lighter, sort of happier energy again, and it's like the fairies are back. You know what, our energy has been so dense that we just haven't been able to even sense them around us. So new moons are particularly good just for setting new intentions, and they help us make positive changes. And with the influence of Sagittarius right now, which is ruled by lucky Jupiter, we might be more positive and excited just about the future and our goals than we usually even would. It's like the world is our oyster at this time. So this is actually the last eclipse of the year, and it's also, being in this sign, it'll close out a cycle which began actually with an eclipse in Sagittarius back in June of 2020. So the dark cycle has passed. Okay, we're definitely going to see a shift here coming again. Alright, now in the tea leaf reading, there was one personal message which I will pass on privately, and if you'd like to submit a question for the next reading, you can write it in the comments below. I do open them up, by the way, if they're legit comments. But if it's a private comment, obviously I don't have to open that up there, or you can just feel free to send me a message through Facebook or Instagram. All the links are below. And I'll take the first 2 questions for each reading. Okay, I won't have any private readings, by the way, for this month of December. I'll be back at it in January. So there are some gaps in the cup, so when you're busy giving to others at this time of the year, just don't forget, to give something to yourself. Do relax between the craziness. Watch the Hallmark channel, read a nice fluffy book or something. And have you got yourself, those new shoes yet? So, do treat yourself. Don't forget about yourself. And I know a lot of us do that, so definitely time to change that up. So there were candles in the cup, and I'm showing them when we have a support network around us, and that can be in the physical or the spiritual realm. Okay, but lighting candles will actually remind us that even though we can't actually see the spiritual support, the candles remind us that it is here. So practice this. If you look into a flame of a candle and ask your loved ones and angels if they're around you, the flame will flicker and jump if you have actually connected with them. So, it does take a wee bit of practice sometimes. Well, sometimes it comes really quickly too, but if you're not used to connecting with loved ones or spiritual beings, that can sometimes just take a wee bit of a focus. Alright? So, next I was showing a nativity scene, and so it's just like embrace the beauty of Advent. It's a period of waiting. The preparations are being made for the big event. And also, if you have lost hope, use this beautiful Advent and solar eclipse Sagittarian energy here, to restore it again. Okay. I'm still seeing the new home sign with the money beside it. Now, it could be for some that the money is coming in to purchase that new home, or some may be selling to make money or access money. If it's something you've been wondering about or worrying about for a while, you'll be receiving divine guidance with regard to it, okay? Or it might even come as support from others, maybe financial support or something like that. Okay? Now in the second cup then, there was like oil floating on the top of the cup. Well, the tea that I use, it definitely is not oily. So it just honestly felt, because it looked like an oil spill, it sort of felt like maybe that's a bit of a warning, you know, that there is going to be a spill in the sea or ocean. You know, all the more reason to stop the old way of transportation, you know, with all these leaks and messes that we leave, you know, in the ocean. And so I did ask then, you know, as I drank the tea, then I asked them sort of about some business matters, and oh yes, T&T come up again. And it came up several weeks ago. Like, I get TT for the Isle of Man races, oftentimes, and then but T&T came up a few weeks back as well, and it's that big supermarket, that big Asian supermarket. So yes, it was announced apparently it's going to be going to Quebec, and it will employ a large number of people, so that is awesome. It wasn't clear in the teacup actually, you know, what exactly it would be, but we were hearing something from T&T. So I was showing then FRX. So when I'm showing these, I'm always asking you about a couple of wee stocks, maybe for people to look at if you're interested in that. Certainly it might just lead you on to something else, maybe not this particular stock, but it showed me FRX on the TSE. That's the Toronto Stock Exchange. It's actually Fennec Pharmaceutical Incorporation, so or incorporated. So go and check that one out if you're interested. I definitely think that's one that's worth looking at. There's also an FRX on the New York Stock Exchange, and I was showing the NYS, so definitely something there to look at. Again, it might lead you to something else. Okay, so that's it for the stocks. I was showing a woman, no actually it's not it for the stocks, there was another one, but I'll go to it after because it came a bit later. So then next though, I was showing a woman with a sari type dress, and she had a head covering, and then there was a person kind of like smiling, like not in a pleasant sort of a way. Anyway, while she was sort of bent over really working the land, you know what, some people are benefiting, you know, from the really hard work of others, you know, these sort of sweatshops and that. So it honestly feels like we can't be supporting this anymore. We've moved into the Aquarian age where we're more humanitarian, you know, and if you haven't really felt that way, you're kind of going to go that way. It's just the way it is. We're going to become more humanitarian just by it being an Aquarian era. Okay, so we are going to be looking at where our goods, you know, are coming from, and I think we're definitely going to be looking at, you know, how are the workers being treated there. We should be demanding this information, and anyway, it looks like we'll be starting sort of to care, as I say, a lot more about this and be looking for more ethically sourced goods. Okay, something to keep in mind. So yes, here's the other stock. It just was something about a new vaccine. I'm sure you're sick of vaccines, but I'm actually getting HIV for this one. So something to look at, okay, HIV vaccinations. That's what I'm getting anyway. So have a wee peek at that. Definitely it's worthwhile investing, you know, obviously in anything healthcare related for sure. So you know, you have more of an interest. It helps you to have more of an interest in it. So also watch your bank account. I was seeing NSF, so keep a close eye on your cards, you know, that nobody's kind of skimming them, you don't lose them, or that you're not just sort of, you know, using the card and forgetting, you know, how much money you have there, writing checks and forgetting what's there, you know, to have an NSF charge. Okay, so just keep a close eye. It might not be a bad idea just to lift out a lump of cash. When it's done, when you're doing all your shopping here. Okay, now for someone who has been maybe waiting on love coming in, and I swear this person looked like she was just kind of sitting looking out the window, like just waiting for it to come to her. if that's you, your rose is coming, okay? So the rose is there for perhaps the 15th of the month or in 15 days. Okay, so something to bear in mind, that big rose is coming. You won't be sitting by that window for too long, all right? Then I was showing a person fancy dancing. Now, of course, fancy dancing, that's relating to Indigenous peoples. So maybe perhaps competitions or something coming up, but there were lots of happy faces. So there's definitely an audience that surround this dancer. Or maybe it's Steve Ballantyne is showing us some of his moves there on TikTok. He's a great guy, a man of many gifts, and definitely makes a lot of people laugh. So I'll put the link below for Steve. But he is a fancy dancer himself, and very good at it, and has competed over the years and is trying to help others to learn. So anyway, you can follow Steve, and I'll put that link in. That is honestly it. It just feels exciting again, you know. I know that I sometimes sound like a broken record whenever I do say this, because it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, down, you know. Anyway, it definitely does feel different. So it just feels like, you know what, live in the moment. There's been enough hiding and worrying and whatever, so just no more hiding away. Just let's get on with our lives, and things will change. They have to. They do change with the planets, so things will definitely change with this beautiful astrological energy anyway. Now, little Sawyer, she picked out a Smoky Quartz for the world, she said, and the first thing I got was the smoke and mirrors will be removed. Okay, so we're going to see truth coming in, exposure after the eclipse. Eclipses kind of feel thing, you know, keep things sort of hidden, and then you know, they go, then they leave, they're removed. Okay, that's why, you know, we find relationships go and all kinds of things are removed from our lives after an eclipse. Now, the Smoky Quartz is a sort of a dark, mysterious crystal, and it's a great healing crystal, just like all of the quartzes. It helps release old patterns, old thinking, old emotions, old beliefs. It also helps us to be grounded. So just read up on that one to discover more of its benefits. It might be one that you want to keep with you. Okay, so that's all I have, folks. Thanks again for listening. And I definitely feel just a lot more positive energy right now. So I'm kind of dancing in my seat a wee bit. I will be back with the full moon reading in a couple of weeks, and you know, hopefully things have shifted for the better for us here. Okay, wishing you all the very best. Do stay safe. Try and stay out of fear. Doesn't help, you know, it just creates more of it. So anyway, all the best, folks. Bye.